And now for more on the increasing exodus of refugees from Syria, I'm joined by Michel Gabaudan, president of Refugees International. Thank you so much for joining us. We have some pictures we want to show everyone. Your group was most recently in Turkey, also in Iraq earlier this year. And I want you to describe what they've been experiencing, especially over the past year, the changes that they've noticed as we're now into the second year of this conflict.
Well, first, the numbers. The numbers are staggering. The refugees who are officially registered are over 2 million now. There are many people in neighboring countries who did not register, so the number of people who fled their boundaries is well above 2 million people. It's a tremendous charge for the neighboring countries. They have been generous, and I think we have to give them full credit for that because they kept their borders open. Right at the beginning, people were fleeing the direct effect of the conflict. Now we increasingly see people who flee the conflict, but also those who flee the fact that living conditions are becoming very difficult. Access to services, access to basic necessities are not there anymore.
And it's obviously not getting any better, especially with this talk of an impending strike. You know, international leaders seem to be preoccupied with talk of a strike and the military action around what's happening in Syria. But what are they doing or not doing when it comes to humanitarian aid? Are they forgetting about the people outside of Syria?
Well, I'm glad you raised the issue because it is key. We don't hear enough about the Syrian people right now. The generosity of donors has been there, but has not been sufficient. Right now, the appeals that the UN and other humanitarian agencies have put out to help those refugees who are outside of Syria is not even funded to 50%. We are at the end of August. You should have a funding at 70 or 75% if you wanted these agencies to be able to deliver services. So they are running after the problem rather than anticipating. And people keep on coming out. Issues of strike raise the possibility that more will want to come out, and right now the conditions are not good. The conditions for refugees are deteriorating. Tensions with local populations are increasing, and our fear, of course, if the patience of governments who have been generous wanes, what will happen with the people who have to escape Syria? So we have to upgrade tremendously the assistance that goes to refugees.
And are you looking for governments, more government help, or can private citizens, ordinary people, help as well?
Well, there are two ways. The governments, of course, have the big capacity, and they should really support the UN, and all governments should be coming to support the UN humanitarian agency. We're talking here strictly of humanitarian work. Individual citizens can support the voluntary organizations that are working. There are many American voluntary organizations or from other countries that are helping there, the Jordanian government, the Lebanese government, the Turkish government, and the Iraqi government. These non-governmental organizations require funding. They're present in every state in the US, and every citizen can contribute to these organizations, and that would certainly change things.
We have about 20 seconds left. Just your quick answer. Is there any one of these neighboring countries that's doing a better job than others, or of managing the influx of people?
Well, it would be unfair to compare. Turkey has been the largest donors. They run very efficient camps, but in terms of proportion of refugees to the total proportion of Turkish citizens, it's a small proportion. Lebanon has now 20% of its population are Syrian refugees. They gave access to schools and medical facilities, but they're overwhelmed, and we're not giving them the support they need.
All right, Michel Gabaudan, we appreciate your time and your perspective. Thank you so much for giving us more information about this issue.
Thank you very much.